Hey everyone, as Ron said, my name's Jackson. I teach over in the law school. Today I'm talking about a project that I've been working on the last couple of months, Visuals for Beginners, and by beginners I mean first semester students essentially. The main course subject that I teach is an Introduction to Law subject. So I've been working with videos for the last, I guess the last year or so. I've been dabbling, so I'm still very fresh to it, but I've recently taken over as the Blending Learning Coordinator in law. So I've got about 5 projects on the go at the moment, so I'm trying to learn as much as I can about video as quickly as I can, but without the help of these guys, I'd be struggling. And what I wish I could have done today, what I'd planned to do is try and assess how the introductory subjects work across all of the different degrees so I could draw parallels really specifically, but I didn't get time. But you know, I would like to think that maybe there would be some parallels regardless of whether you teach introductory subjects, or maybe if you're close to the person who teaches the introductory subjects in your school, that you could perhaps share this idea with them if you think it's a good one. So, Introduction to Legal Studies, the subject is called Australian Legal System, and it works very much as an introductory subject. It's really a standalone subject that essentially introduces law students to the entire degree. So the motive behind this particular project that I'm going to talk about works really well in that context for a number of reasons, but most importantly because what this subject is about giving students all the tools that they need for the rest of their degree. So I often say it's, like a building analogy, that I'm the one who takes them to the hardware store, buys them all the tools, shows them how to use them, and then they go out and build 21 different structures across the next few years of their life. So just quickly, some background on the course to give context for the motive behind the project. So at the start, we talk about the nature and source of law, what the law is, where it comes from, systems of government, so the basics of separation of powers and division of power, federalism, that sort of thing. So all the fundamentals. But the bulk of the course is on legal method. That acronym there, IRAC, is essentially the heart and soul of legal method. There's many different acronyms that are used, but it's essentially a problem-solving acronym that in law, after we've ascertained what the relevant facts are, we decipher what the issues are, find all of the relevant rules, try and work out what all the possible arguments are and come up with a conclusion which is our advice. And ultimately, at the end of the course, we give them as much practical information as we can. We talk about the adversarial system, about the legal profession, what it's like to be a lawyer, ethics, professionalism, globalisation, a number of sort of ancillary topics to round off the course. And ultimately, all of this is with a view to helping them learn to think like a lawyer. And so I'm introducing them to really fundamental concepts, and I'm sure this is translatable to at least some degrees, maybe not the ones that you specifically teach in, maybe, but so I'm teaching them those fundamentals, and ultimately that's what we're all doing in the law school, is trying to teach them to think like lawyers, and we use our particular subject content as a means of achieving that overall objective. So there's 3 types of video capsules within this project that I'm working on at the moment. They're not actually called those ridiculous names, but that's just how I was thinking about them at the time. So the bigwigs is just a short element of it. I'll speak to that quickly in a second. The experts is sort of the heart and soul of it, and the oldies is also important. So the bigwigs is people like our dean, looking very glamorous there. I think they're just classic. The photos of all our deans in the law school look so professional and serious, and that's so different to how Nick really is. Not that he's not professional and serious, but I think these photos of deans are really odd. But that's Nick. And Libby also is in those videos. So they're short 2 to 5 minute videos. Libby's the head of the skills program, Nick's the dean. They're just basic little welcome videos. But this is the more substantive element of the project, which is essentially using academics across the whole faculty to do 15 to 30 minute videos on specific subject content that's aligned with the curriculum. And I've got 3 fairly specific objectives behind doing that. Firstly is just introducing our first semester students to everyone. and so they can see the broad expertise across the whole faculty and really feel part of the family, And I'm sure it's the same in other schools here, but the culture is a really important part of the law school. And having students know that this is who we are and this is what we do, and go and knock on our door or walk through our open door at any time really makes them feel welcome. More importantly, when I'm using experts in their particular content areas to speak to that content in my introductory subject, well, they're the experts, and they're right on point all the time. And often I've found that I learnt quite a few things from having the experts come and speak about their particular areas. Danielle talking about constitutional law, Darren talking about human rights. And the sort of other element I think that I found in this process is it's actually great for the academics as well, because they get, through the conversations we have about what I want in the video, they get how their subject content is actually taught at an introductory level. So I found that to be a real advantage as well. So a lot of them gave me that feedback, oh, it's great, so that's the introduction you give to constitutional law in the introduction subject and so forth. The third one, the oldies. So this is what I've only done one so far, but this is one that I'm really looking forward to, and it's 1 to 1.5 hour videos, conversational style, where I'm actually in the video doing the interviewing. So I'm really looking forward to doing this, for drawing on the wisdom of the people in our law faculty who have been there a long time, are very experienced, and have got some interesting stories to tell. 3 elements to it again, everything in threes today. So the main point is that we can get down and deep, and we have enough time to get into some really deep issues, not content driven at all. I've written a number of questions for the people that I'm going to use in these interviews, and it's really taking them outside their comfort zone and not just focusing on the content driven stuff that we essentially have to place so much emphasis on in law school, because there's so much content to get through, but asking them really interesting and sometimes left of centre questions to get inside their character a little bit and give students a representation of all sorts of different aspects of our profession. And most importantly, it's to inspire them, to show what it's like to be a lawyer in the real world, what their experiences have been, and just drawing on their expertise and asking, targeted questions that work for that particular academic in a way that they can give, hopefully, inspirational answers for our students.